Before I get started with this video, at my job parking lot, this is usually where I do my videos when I'm in my car. You know, way before I have to go into work. I'm here early. And pretty decent neighborhood, you know, around this whole area. Except immediately to the side of us. It's like a halfway house on one side of the road or something, and then Section 8 on the other side. And I noticed as I got here this morning, especially this morning, there'd be a rooster crowing. That's usually how you can tell what kind of neighborhood you're in. Now, if you're out in the country, that's one thing. But if you're in a city and you hear roosters crowing, that tells you the kind of neighbors and neighborhood you live in. Just gonna throw that out there. For the most part. Sometimes, living where there's an HOA is a good thing. Clearly there ain't no HOA with Section 8 or a halfway house. On to the video. We just discussed the Panama Papers being released. As what they're being called right now. These might be the most explosive secrets revealed ever. As the webbot has been predicting for a while now. Secrets revealed, secrets revealed, secrets revealed coming. And I want to just share that for a second because how long ago did we first hear about the word secrets revealed from the webbot? It's been years ago. So here's one of those times, like when I talk about a webbot hit and all that, where when it first came out in the data, it wasn't forecasting the year 2016 for the webbot hit to take place, for the big secrets revealed. It should have already happened, as far as I'm concerned, as long ago as that was. But if you look, it's like, well, hold on a minute. It's actually kind of like a rolling meme, where there were some secrets revealed. We had the Snowden papers, all that stuff leaked. There's been some leaks. But this is kind of like the mother of all leaks, these Panama Papers. So the Icelandic government prime minister apparently had some offshore bank accounts hiding some of his potentially ill-gotten gains. And the people said, oh no, we got rid of the last rotten government. We got rid of the rotten bankers that were running that government, and they were, washing each other's, rubbing each other's back, so to speak. And now you're our prime minister. We've recovered. And you got offshore accounts, get the hell out of here now. And he makes a comment and says something to the people like, well, not everybody's going to show up to the protest, so no, I'm not resigning. Or something like that. Like, oh, just a few you bozos are going to show up. I'm not resigning because of that. Which infuriated everybody else, and then a ton of people showed up. Long story short, guess who resigned? I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but it happened. The sorry sack prime minister. They're holding some snap elections in Iceland. Iceland is the only country that dealt with its criminal banking and finance system the proper way and threw those bastards in jail. And immediately, from the looks of it, the club has got one of their guys already ready to go. Oh, I'm the new prime minister. I'm with you. I'm for the people. Yeah, bad bankers, we got them. And then I've got some offshore bank accounts because I'm part of the club. You weren't supposed to find that out, but you just did. So it goes to show you that the very second that you think you've gained some ground, we threw these bums out, as they say. We actually did it. One of the bums comes right back in. And what position of power does he have in your country? The prime minister? Again, that's like being the president. And they had to throw him out. So I got a question. Hey, teacher, got a question. Is that void now going to be filled by another bankster? Club member? Seems like it is. They'll tell you everything you want to hear. I'm with you. Yeah, we did the right thing and got rid of those bad guys. And I'm actually a bad guy myself. I've got some offshore accounts. I'm trying to hide some money. So here's another one. Head of Transparency International. Before I even continue, I have to say it. Remember all the laws, the names they give these laws, these bills before they pass them? The St. Germain Act, the Patriot Act, the Affordable Care Act. And it's the freaking opposite. head of Transparency International in Chile, resigns after Panama Papers revelations. No kidding. Zero Hedge. Define irony. While the global media has been almost entirely focused on the circle of close Putin friends who have emerged as some of Mossack Fonseca's clients, and moments ago the Panama Papers even had their first official casualty when the Iceland Prime Minister resigned, far more amusing examples of shell firm perpetrators have emerged, if deep under the radar. And as Reuters reports, with barely a trace of humor, the president of the Chilean branch of Transparency International resigned on Monday after documents from a Panamanian law firm, showed he was linked to at least 5 offshore companies. The new president of Transparency International, we advocate transparency for governments, businesses, multinational corporations. Our word of the day, word of the year, word of the century is transparency. That's what we do. Sir, do you have any offshore bank accounts? No. That wouldn't be very transparent of me, now would it? Actually, yeah, I do have attached to 5 different companies' offshore accounts. Ooh, how's that transparency working out for you? How's that Affordable Care Act working out for you? How's that non-prying, privacy-destroying Patriot Act working out for you? Etc. For those who are unfamiliar, Transparency International is a German-based organization that seeks to monitor and root out corporate and political corruption worldwide. Unless the president himself of the company has a few offshore accounts himself, let's not worry about that. Here's how someone, perhaps he should have used Bill Clinton to get the definition of the word transparency. As much as he would have wanted not to, ultimately he had no choice. Gonzalo de la Vue presented his resignation as the president of Transparency Chile, which has been accepted by the board of directors. The national body wrote on Twitter. Oh, and by the way, board of directors, are any of you guys in this offshore business or any other offshoring activities? Just curious. Because remember, 11.5 million documents released. If you guys are in there, guess who's going to have to get the can next? But if the board of directors is found with all this crap, offshore accounts and tax havens, who gets rid of the board of directors? The reason for his resignation is that his name was among the tens of thousands of people, which most non-U.S., but there are some U.S. for sure, that were exposed in the Mossack Fonseca leak. And I will say this. This is only one company that specializes in offshoring, whether there's tax havens, setting up corporations, shell companies, all that. This is but one company. And they mentioned there's like 4 or 5 total big ones. This is one of the big ones that does this. So my question would be, is the club using the other ones? Our USA club members, are they using the other ones that haven't been exposed yet? While he is not accused of illegal activity, the leaks called into question his post at Transparency International. According to Cyper, Mr. Delavue, a lawyer, acts as a representative for Turnbrook Corporation, DK Corporation, I don't know if that's supposed to be Healthy International Inc. or Heatley. Is it spelled Heatley? International Inc., Turnbrook Mining Ltd., and Visachitas Ltd., all of which are domiciled in the Bahamas. He also serves as a director for Turnbrook Mining, which owns 51.6% of Los Andes Copper, a Canadian exploration and development company currently focused on a mine project north of Chile's capital, Santiago. Reuters adds that in response to questions from Seiper, he said he was a director only at Turnbrook Mining and that his relations with the other companies were consistent with his role as a lawyer and legal clerk. He added in an interview with a local radio station that he was extremely surprised by the gray, dark area of Mossack Fonseca. Now, I was using them legitimately, but I didn't know there was all this dark and gray area that they were dealing with. Oh, you mean like yours, actually. And we would be too. His resignation came hours after Chile's tax authority announced the beginning of an intense follow-up of the Chileans mentioned in the Panama Papers, who range from ex-soccer stars to newspaper magnates. The disclosures come as Chile deals with political and corporate corruption scandals that have left Chileans angry with the entire professional class and eroded the government's popularity. Sounds very much like the U.S. That's a Big Ten for. Take care.